That's just kind of it for this video. We will be talking potentially about, steroid use. Carrying that weight, like, I know I sound like a wussy complaining about something like that, but
what class of bodybuilding do you think I should compete in?
There's like, what, 10 classes now?
I would maybe considering hopping on cycles. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. For any of you guys that are new here, my name is Levi, and I just got done with my morning walk, right? In my morning walk, I drink a cup of coffee. I'll listen to a podcast. I honestly don't really even listen to music anymore, even during my lifts. It's something that I would say has changed my attitude for the better, so I strongly suggest that you guys do it. And I also am trying to get my 10,000 steps in every single day, all right, as it is going to be part of my prep. As you can see by the title of this video, the show that I am specifically competing in is Summer Shredding, but is the October show instead of the show that just passed as the show that I was currently sort of at. I didn't actually go, but I was there for the event. That is exactly what I'm doing. That is how I'm getting prepped for this show. I will like tune up the cardio once it gets going, but in this video I'm going to be breaking down more than just like, oh, I am competing in Summer Shredding for October. I'm also going to be breaking down sort of my intention behind exactly why I'm going to be competing, because there's more than just, oh, I'm competing in Summer Shredding. It's been something that I've talked about many times. I would say I've talked about it a couple times on this channel. I've also talked about it on Instagram plenty of times. Okay, I've talked about it way too many times, so I just feel like the time has come, and I kind of mentioned it in a post earlier on my YouTube, I think. Hence I am moving down, so if you guys haven't checked out my previous video, I will be moving down to Houston come August. So that is the first thing I'm going to be mentioning. I am doing morning walks just to kind of stay lean for the summer. It's not necessarily how I'm prepping. I also up my calories as well, just to put on more size, but I also want to stay lean at the same time and to try to do the most insane main gain that I can of my life. That's just kind of it for this video. We will be talking potentially about steroid use, what inspired me to do this, carrying on my dad's legacy, overall a lot more as to why I decided to kind of take this change in content. So if you guys just came here to hear like, oh, I'm competing, you're not getting the full scoop, so I strongly suggest that you guys stay for that. But right now I'm actually going to head on home. I got a meeting to catch. I actually got a couple meetings today, staying really busy, had a couple of things in Summer Shredding that I need to catch up on back at home. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, now like I mentioned earlier, I am going to be, switching up my diet and getting ready for the show. I believe, prep when you're bodybuilding is like a whole thing. It's not like all of a sudden like, oh, I'm in prep mode. Yeah, there is like a different kind of mode that you go into when you're getting ready for a show. That just means you're cutting, but I believe the whole time you're kind of in like this go mode, kind of trying to get bigger and better and more diced for the show. And it's kind of like one big hole instead of like, oh, now I'm on prep. But anyway, so what I'm doing to get ready for the show is right now I'm consuming around 3,000 to 3,200 calories. I can still say somewhat lean with those amount of calories with the kind of cardio that you guys just saw me doing. So this is it right here. This is going to be my pre-workout meal. I actually kind of switch my training over, because even though I like training in the morning, I know that I perform better when I have more food in my system. So right for this meal, I have, Brussels sprouts, I have some sweet potato and some regular potato, and I also have like a spinach wrap with a chicken breast and some cheese as well in it. Looks pretty banging to me. I'll break down my total calories and macros for you guys somewhere up here on the screen. Like I said, this isn't a full day of eating. We also have this coffee right here. Currently in my coffee, it's not like the most healthy coffee, but add in like a little bit of creamer. It's some pretty good creamer actually. It's like a cinnamon toast crunch. Then we also add some almond milk, and then we also add some sugar-free stevia as well. But when prep comes, or I should say cutting comes, I will change this up and I will add just black coffee and probably sugar-free sweetener. Something that I also want to mention as well is that I've never done like a serious bulk, guys. So my plan with this isn't like I'm bulking. If anything, this is kind of like how my lean bulk, I guess you could say, would go. Like the last time I did bulk, which was back in, I would say, I think it was somewhere between September and December, I was eating around 3,800 calories, which was pretty good, but at the same time, I was still relatively lean. And it takes a while for me to put on mass. My body just doesn't like to hold on to fat. I'm blessed to say nonetheless for that, because I know some people would love that. So I'm not looking to put on a whole bunch of size for this show. I'm just kind of looking to get back up and gain a little more weight. And one more thing that I want to mention that's related to the food, and like I said during this video in the beginning, this isn't just going to be about me stepping on stage and my prep and whatnot. This is also going to be how or why I'm changing my content to, I would say, bodybuilding and like lifestyle and whatnot. And it's because first off, I started out with doing that, but we'll get more into that later. But this is more so about the food aspect. So whenever I'm doing like a living light challenge, or when I was, because I don't think think I'm gonna do anymore. I honestly felt like I was out of tune with my training, my dieting and everything, and I want to be bigger, I want to be stronger, so if everything's in tune, that'll all work. But when I'm copying someone else's routine and it kind of just like different style of eating or, you know, different style of training, it just kind of really affected my gains, I feel like, and I wasn't making the progress that I wanted to see. So hence another reason why I actually changed up my eating and why I'm staying strict more so on my diet and why I'm doing what I'm doing now. All right, everyone, so for supplementation, getting ready for my show, I'm gonna be taking, you know, pre-workout all the way through and even when I'm cutting and whatnot. And as you guys know, I'm not doing caffeine, or I should say stimulated pre-workouts. I'm still taking stim-free just because the heart palpitations, especially when you get leaner, your body becomes more reactive to things like alcohol, caffeine, just because like there's not as much fat on your body, if that makes sense. It's a thing, trust me, look it up. I remember one time I was at a party on New Year's, and this is like a couple years back, and I got like, you know, I only had like a couple drinks and I literally got hungover. So that's literally proof right there. But we're having some pre-workout. We're gonna have that all the way. We're always gonna have pre-workout. Like, what's a workout without pre-workout? We're also going to be having this right here, creatine, but whenever the show day comes, I'm gonna stop taking it just because of possible water retention. I say I drink a gallon of water a day, which I do. However, some days, you know, I'm not as on top of it as I should be. So I just mix my creatine and my pre-workout together. If you guys are wondering what pre-workout I take and creatine, it is the orange flavor by Transparent Labs and then the green apple flavor. Currently, my two favorite flavors right now, but my favorites switch from time to time just because I'll get bored of flavors. And also I've been mixing these with my pre-workout and my creatine. It just makes it taste like that much better. Like these Sunkist ones, I have to give them like 8 out of 10. And then these 7-Up ones I'll probably give like a 4 out of 10. They just, I don't know, they just enhance the flavor like so much and just gives it like I'm drinking soda. So these are gonna be a game changer, especially during prep. So if any of you guys are trying to get lean for summer right now, strongly suggest you hop on these. Yeah, that's just a supplementation I'm on right now. If any of you guys are interested and want to copy yourself something at Transparent Labs, be sure to use code Levi. We're gonna down this right now. Literally, oh, whoa, last little chunks in there. Now we're gonna get ready for the gym. We got some chest and triceps we're about to hit. See you guys later. So, you know, in terms of training, since, like I said, we're on prep, getting ready for the show, it's like 3-4 months from now. So essentially what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna train the same way that I am when I go on my cut, because a lot of people have like this tendency around, oh, if I'm starting to get lean, then I should probably start like training with less weight, just because they have this thought that they're just gonna automatically get weaker as soon as they cut. So no, just keep doing the same weight. You will get weaker depending on how long you're cutting for. So I'm doing heavy incline bench press right now. And what I'm trying to really target during my training that I think I lost after my cut, just because I've been cutting for so long, is my upper chest. It used to be like way more protrudent. And I always suggest to people like, stop doing flat bench, it's just gonna like tear your shoulders apart. There's not really that much of a benefit to it. So I always stick to incline. Overall right now, I'm still just keeping my strength, trying to actually build my strength. I usually start with like a compound that's like pretty heavy, and then I'll go to light stuff afterward. So this is kind of like related to most of the content of everything other than just like getting ready for the show and everything. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but whenever I do like a challenge in terms of like weightlifting, or if it has to do with anything with like weightlifting and food, really different. Like it's different if I'm going and working out with Fan like I did, or it's different if I'm working out with my dad. That's totally different. That's just switching up something every once in a while. But when I'm totally like switching up my day and my food and my training and the time that I train, it really messes up with everything. And I've actually been training, like I said, later a little bit. And a lot of these guys, you know, some of them will train at like 4:30 in the morning, some will train at 7, so then the next day I'm tired of shit. And just kind of carrying that weight, like I know I sound like a wussy complaining about something like that. You guys would know if like you are someone who's into routine, it's really hard to kind of get into someone else's routine and then hop right back on yours the next day. So that's exactly why I kind of like switched over to kind of back to what I was already doing, because I genuinely enjoy it more so than trying to follow someone else's routine, someone else's split. I mean, it's fun to kind of see what someone else is doing, but at the same time, it's enjoyable, I would say, the following days, if that makes sense. So honestly, like doing my own thing, I like training, and I gotta capitalize on my weak points, because when I'm training on those days where it's like someone else's like weak points, I just feel like my workout wasn't that good, especially if I'm trying to compete. Alright guys, just gonna put a wrap on the workout. I feel good. Like I said, my stamina is a little lower for whatever reason. I'm not really too sure. I think it could probably be a lack of consistency. We were in Houston. You know, we were getting not really workouts in when we were in Houston. It was more so just like, you know, meeting up with people. So it's kind of like I went 4 whole days without really like working out. My sleep is messed up. I know I'm just making excuses, but let's go hit some posing real quick. Actually, let's just do some posing right here. Come over here. I want to center him a little more. Just center. This is what we're looking like, about like 170 pounds. Fairly lean. I just feel like I could be lean muscle mass. Run through a couple of poses. I know my posing is literally terrible. It has a lot of work to do. That's all we're gonna literally like run through. I gotta work on it. It'll literally get better. You know, I'll have a coach. We'll go over that in a whole video, who my coach is gonna be. But that's literally what we're looking at right now. We'll perfect everything later on. But I hope you guys understand like why I made that transition, especially with my training, and like exactly why. I don't know. I just feel like bodybuilding is gonna be it. It's something fun. I was looking for a challenge. I was always competitive growing up. So I honestly think this is gonna be a really good move on my part. I'm starving, I'm hungry, we got a little more to talk about, so I'll see you guys back at the house. I found something pretty cool just now that I think you guys will like. It's some old bodybuilding pictures of my dad. And before we go through them, I just kind of want to like summarize up this video real quick and kind of talk about my inspiration as to why I'm taking a directional change with my content. And it has to deal with my dad, hence these bodybuilding pictures right here that I found. So if you guys saw in the previous video that I did with my dad, which is like a couple weeks ago, you guys did awesome on that video, by the way. It was one of my best videos yet to date. So in that video, I kind of talk about how my dad used to do bodybuilding, and his bodybuilding career was very short-lived because he had me at a young age. And you know, just when you have a kid at a young age, you kind of have to put your focus onto something else. But I think my dad had a really good career in it for how young he was. I think honestly maybe he would have been able to get his pro card as a natty. I'm really not too sure. I'm not too sure how the competition was back then, but when I first started YouTube, like that was my inspiration. Like I wanted to do bodybuilding on YouTube, and I also kind of wanted to share my life with you guys, and my dad was like a huge inspiration to that. All growing up, my dad was always into going out and doing fun things, but lifting in the gym was like also like a huge portion of his life, and I could always tell he's just very emphasized that, like, you know, I can't miss my lift. Like lifting like keeps me, you know, sane. And it's the same thing for me, but I also like to live my life a little bit. And I don't know if you guys know this, but when I was kind of like doing videos like living like, so like, you know, I have to say like the showering, you know, cold showers every day for 30 days. I'm still taking cold showers, by the way, because it really helps with my acne and just kind of waking me up. Those videos just, I didn't necessarily even know how to record those kind of videos. Like I don't even know how to go about those kind of videos. Like I have to write out like a whole plan, and they honestly were taking me hours and hours and hours. I was literally stuck in this room right here, just hours on end. Like literally I would sit, I remember one of the videos took me like 7 hours to literally edit, and it sucked. Like it literally sucked. Like I felt like I had no life. So I really was inspired by my dad to kind of take this directional change and just kind of like document my life and just have fun with it. And so I think this is a great turning point for me. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys these photos. So I'll just pop them up on the screen because you probably can't see them. So there's one of him like flexing, another one of him flexing. I mean, obviously he's gonna be flexing in all of them. Another one, another one, another one, and another one. And those are it, guys. But yeah, it was just like a huge inspiration to me to kind of like take that directional change. I'm really happy that I honestly made that change because I feel a lot better. Like I feel a lot more happier. Now, if I were to kind of tell you guys how I see my bodybuilding career, is that I'm going to probably compete in physique at first and then move to classic. I'm not really too sure as to how everything's gonna work yet. If somehow I get really, really close to earning my pro card as a natty, I would maybe considering hopping on cycle, but I just want to stay natural just for my own like health and whatnot and my own personal beliefs and morals. But you know, I really want to compete in classic at the same time, like straight away. I don't know, you guys let me know down in the comments. Actually, we should just go like ask my dad real quick what he thinks I should compete in. Hold on, let's go ask him.
All right, Dad, real quick, I gotta ask you a question for my video. What class of bodybuilding do you think I should compete in?
Physique?
Did you know the classes?
There's like, what, 10 classes now? It's the beach bod one.
Okay, that's for men's physique.
Yeah.
What about classic? Like, you know, Arnold?
No.
No?
No. I mean...
Okay.
No.
Well, time with time being.
Yeah, but understand what show you're doing. You can't compete against a juiced out monster. I would actually look at a natural show.
What did you compete in?
Natural.
Okay.
The only one I did was the Iron Man.
But they didn't have classic back then, did they?
It was either novice or open.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
All right.
Yeah. Or swimsuit if you're a girl.
Oh.
So maybe you could win that.
Okay, yeah, whatever. All right, well, that was it for that. Like I said, I'm gonna probably compete in physique. That was already like my plan. I think it's what my body's kind of built for. Broad shoulders, a little bit of a smaller waist. Unfortunately though, my waist is just getting bigger like almost every single day it seems. It's gonna put a wrap on the video, guys. I hope you guys like this video and I hope you guys understand why I made that change in direction with my content. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good for this channel. I think it's gonna be a good way for me to document my life and also just enjoy filming and enjoy editing as well, because I really like editing, but when I'm sitting there for 7+ hours, I'm not like liking it as much. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking now, guys, but that's gonna do it for the video. If any of you guys are new here, do not forget to press that subscribe button because you guys know I will be back. If there's anything down below that you guys want to comment, be sure to comment it. And as always, guys, the sky's the limit, and until next time.
So strong enough.